And it didn't stop there. You know, my competitive nature went right into the pros. I get to the Bulls, which I was very proud that at the time Jerry Reinsdorf didn't own the team. It was another organization, and Rob Thorne drafted me. Kevin Lockett was my first coach. Kevin used to take practices and put me in starting five. And he'd make it a competitive thing where the losing team have to run. So now I'm on the winning team, and halfway in the game, halfway in the situation, he was switching me to the losing team. So I take that as a competitive thing by you trying to test me. And by 9 times out of 10, the second team would come back and win no matter what he did. So I appreciate Kevin Lockett for giving me that challenge, providing that type of fire within me. He threw another log on that fire for me. Jerry Reinsdorf. I mean, what else can I say? The next year I come back, I broke my foot. I was out for 65 games. And when I came back, I wanted to play. He and the doctors, they came up with this whole theory that you can only play 7 minutes a game, but I'm practicing 2 hours a day. I'm saying, well, I don't agree with that math. And back then it was about whoever had the worst record with the most balls and the ping pong balls, and you can decide what pick you're gonna have. But I didn't care about that. I just wanted to win. I wanted to make the playoffs. I wanted to keep that energy going in Chicago. So I had to go in his office and sit down with him. I said, Jerry, I feel like I should play more than 15 minutes. I'm practicing 2 hours. He said, MJ, I think I have to protect the long term of investment that we've invested in you. And I said, Jerry, I really think I should be able to play. He said, let me ask you this. He said, you had a headache. And at that time, there was about 10% chance that I can re-injure my ankle or my foot. He says, if you have a headache and you got 10 tablets, and one of them is coated with cyanide, would you take the Tylenol? I looked at him, I said, how bad is the headache? Depending on how bad the headache. Jerry looked at me and said, okay, I guess that's a good answer. You can go back and play. He let me allow to go back and play. And, Jerry provided a lot of different obstacles for me, but at the same time, the guy gave me an opportunity to perform at the highest level in terms of basketball. And the Bulls, the whole Bulls organization, they did a great justice for me and for all my teammates. Believe me, I had a lot of teammates over the 14 years that I played for the Bulls, and I respected each and every one of them. I just wanted to win, no matter how you look at it. And then along came Doug Collins, who was caught in the whole mix of this Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf, and at the same time, he, when I was trying to play in the summertime, he said, well, you're a part of the organization, and the organization said you can't play in the summertime. I said, Doug, you hadn't read the fine print in my contract. In my contract, I had the love of the game clause. That means I can play anytime I want, any place I want. And Doug looked at me and said, yeah, you're right. And that's how we became, a little closer in terms of Doug Collins and myself. And Jerry Krause is right there. Jerry's not here. Obviously, I don't know who invited him. I didn't, but I hope he understands. I hope he understands it goes a long way, and he's a very competitive person. I was a very competitive person. He said organization wins championship. I said, I didn't see organization playing with the flu in Utah. I didn't see him playing with, with the bad ankle. Granted, I think organizations put together teams, but at the end of the day, the teams got to go out and play. So in essence, I think the players win the championship, and the organization has something to do with it, don't get me wrong. But don't try to put the organization above the players, because at the end of the day, the players still got to go out there and perform. You guys got to pay us, but I still got to go out and play. Obviously, you see my kids, Jeffrey, Marcus, Jasmine, I love you guys. I think you guys represent a lot of me, a lot of different personalities. Your mom, you represent them as well. I think that you guys had a heavy burden. I wouldn't want to be you guys if I had to, because of all the expectations that you have to deal with. I mean, look around you. They charge $1,000 tickets for this thing, for this whole event. It used to be $200. But I paid it. I had no choice. I had a lot of family, a lot of friends I had to bring in. So thank you, Hall of Fame, for raising ticket price, I guess. But you guys, I love you guys. You guys just don't know. You got a whole host of people supporting you, family, friends, people that you don't know, relatives coming out of the woodwork. No matter how you look at it, But I think we taught you right, your mom and I, and hopefully you can make the right decision when the time comes. My mom, what else can I say? My mom never stays still. You think I'm busy? She's always on the go. And without her, she's a rock. She's unbelievable. Right now she takes over 2 jobs. She's an unbelievable woman. I mean, if I got anybody that's nagging me each and every day, it is her. And she constantly keeps me focused on the good things about life. You know, how people perceive you, how you respect them, you know, what's good for the kids, what's good for you, you know, how you perceive publicly is a second thought. Take a pause and think about, you know, things that you do. It all came from my parents, you know, it came from my mom. And she's still, at this stage, I'm 46 years old, she's still parenting me today. And that's a good thing about that lady. I love her to death. I love her to death. And I'm gonna thank a couple people that you guys probably wouldn't even think that I would thank. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, George Gervin. Now they say it was a so-called freeze out in my rookie season. I wouldn't have never guessed, but you guys gave me the motivation to say, you know what? Evidently I haven't proved enough to these guys. I gotta prove to them that I deserve what I've gotten on this level. And no matter what people may have said, if it was a rumor, I never took it as truth. But you guys never froze me out because I was just happy to be there, no matter how you look at it. You know, and from that point forward, you know, I wanted to prove to you, Magic, Larry, George, everybody, that I deserve to be on this level just as much as anybody else. And hopefully over the period of my career, I've done that, without a doubt. You know, even in the Detroit years, we've done that. Pat Riley, I mean, you and I, we go way back. I still remember in Hawaii. You remember in Hawaii where you and I was coming in, you were, I guess, leaving, and you decided to stay a couple extra days, but you were in my suite, and they came and they told you had to get out of my suite. And you slid a note underneath my door, although you had to move, you did move. You slid a note saying, I enjoyed the competition, congratulations, but we will meet again. And I take the heart in that because I think, in all honesty, you are just competitive as I am, you know, even from a coaching standpoint. And you've challenged me every time I played the Knicks, the Heat, and I don't think you were with the Lakers, but anytime I played against you, you had Jordan Stopper on your team, you had John Starks, who I love. You even had my friend Charles Oakley saying we can't go to lunch, we can't go to dinner because Pat doesn't believe in fraternizing between the two of us. And this guy hit me harder than anybody else in the league, and he was my best friend. Patrick Ewing, we had the same age, we came out at the same time, but we couldn't go to lunch. Why is this? You think I'm gonna play against Patrick any different than I play against anybody else? No, no. And then you had your little guy who was on your staff who became the Knicks coach after you, Jeff Van Gundy. He said, I con the players, I befriended them, and then I attack them on the basketball court. Where did that come from? I just so happen to be a friendly guy. I get along with everybody, but at the same time, when the light comes on, I'm as competitive as anybody you know. You know, so you guys, I must say thank you very much for giving me that motivation that I desperately needed. Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is, to me, he's a professional greensmith. You know, he challenged me mentally, not just physically. You know, he understood the game, along with Tex Winter. They taught me a lot about the basketball game. Tex being the specialist. You know, I could never please Tex. I love Tex. Tex is not here, but you know, I know he's here in spirit. He is. I can remember a game coming off the basketball court and we were down, I don't know, 5 to 10 points, and I go off for about 25 points and we come back to win the game. And we're walking off the floor and Tex looked at me and said, you know, there's no I in team. I say Texas not. It's not an iron team, but it's an iron win. I think he got my message. I'll do anything to win. You know, if that means we play team format, we win. If that means I have to do whatever I have to do, you're gonna win, no matter how you look at it. And then you had all your media naysayers. Oh, scoring champion can't win an NBA title. Or, you know, you're not as good as Magic Johnson, you're not as good as Larry Bird. You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. You know, I had to listen to all this. And that put so much fuel on that fire that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player. Now, I'm not saying they were wrong. I may have looked at them from a different perspective, you know, but at the same time, as a basketball player, I'm trying to become the best that I can, you know, and for someone like me who achieved a lot in over time of my career, you look for any kind of messages that people may say or do to get you motivated to play the game of basketball at the highest level, because that is when I feel like I excel at my best. And my last example of that, and the last one that you guys probably have seen, I hate to do it to him, but he's such a nice guy. And when I first met Brian Russell, John and Carl, remember this, I was in Chicago in 1994. I was working out for baseball. They came down for a workout and shoot around. I came over to say hello. And at this time, I had no thoughts of coming back and playing the game of basketball. And Brian Russell came over to me and said, you know what, man, why'd you quit? Why'd you quit? You know I can guard you. If I ever see you in a pair of shorts, you remember this, John? Okay? And so when I did decide to come back in 1995, and then we played Utah in 96, I'm at the center circle. Brian Russell sitting next to me, and I look over to Brian. I said, you remember this conversation you made in 1994 about, I think I can guard you, I can shut you down, I would love to play against you. Well, you about to get your chance. And believe me, ever since that day, he got his chance. I don't know how successful he was, but I think he had his chance, and believe me, I relished on that point. And from this day forward, if I ever see him in shorts, I'm coming at him. I know you guys got to go. I know I've been up here a lot longer than I told my friends I was going to be up here. I cried. I was supposed to get up here and say thank you and walk off, and I didn't even do that. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. As I close,